capitalize on the things that they can control, and that all starts with passing. As you can see in the graphic, they had a team season high 95 digs last year, and that's really what did it in for them. So if they can get good passes, they can set up their offense and find kills for Peyton Caffrey, Morgan Chacon, like you guys mentioned, Taryn Canute, and even Jasmine Martin. So defense is the name of the game tonight, guys.
Well, it's Morgan Chacon back to get us underway. Zoe Nunez with a quick dump. Here's Caffrey. She'll pick up the opening kill and get us underway.
Great crowd in here tonight, and what the Seminoles are hoping to do is to feed off of that crowd. The crowd definitely could make a difference.
Seminoles typically enjoy a really nice crowd on Friday nights especially. It'll be Chacon back to serve once again. Nigo had to wait on the set, so here's another opportunity for Caffrey. Overpass to the Seminoles. Marissa Stockman getting the start on the right side for Florida State today. Nigo sent that right into the tape, but it looked like Florida State might have got a hand on it and pulled it out of play.
And right off the top, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, defense. We're seeing a lot of defense already, and we expect that to continue throughout the whole match.
It will be point Notre Dame. It'll be Paige McKnight, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia, back to serve. Just wide down the line. It goes 2-1 FSU. This is a Notre Dame team that has 105 service aces, but it comes at a price of 210 service errors. That'll give way to Madison Sullivan, also a senior. She's from Jacksonville. Nigo jammed up on the serve receive. She'll wait on the set and roll it from the back row. Sullivan on the ground for the dig. Heck of an effort, and it pays off with a sharp angle Caffrey kill.
Great dig by the Seminoles, and they almost lost that point, but they recovered and made a great play, and it's now 3-1 Seminoles.
Float serve over the back, so a service error from both teams so far this afternoon. Service errors also piling up for Florida State now, 114 compared to just 82 aces.
A little bit of nerves off the top.
Absolutely. Big match here. Zoe Nunez, the sophomore from Rockford, Illinois, back to serve. Set to the middle. Emma Clothier fires over the back. No touch by the Irish, and we're tied again. So here's Nunez. 10.42 assists per set, ranks in the top 5 in the ACC. She was a second-team All-ACC player last year as a freshman, in addition to being on the All-ACC freshman team. And Notre Dame takes their first lead at 4-3.
A little run by Notre Dame at this point in time. You know, it's going to be really interesting to see how all of this plays out. But so far, the action is fast and furious.
Emma Clothier on the slide. Could not find the sideline, so the Fighting Irish will extend their lead to 2. Knowles out of system here, off balance on some of these sets. Caffrey is responsible for all of Florida State's points.
And that's the way to get that momentum back there. A big spike by her, and the nose, as you say, they need to reset. A little bit off right at the beginning of this match, and they need to pick it up.
Lily Tessier will check in. She has taken on the role of the primary setter for Florida State. She's a redshirt freshman from Fort Myers, Florida. Sydney Bent with a big swing from the outside, just missed that back corner. Sydney Bent, one of 3 excellent sophomores, all 3 members of the all-freshman team and second-team All-ACC last year. Notre Dame out of system, so the shove from Bent. Sullivan digs it up and over the net. 2 overpasses back to the Irish. They will reset. Nigo tools the block, and Notre Dame takes the lead right back.
Great defense by both sides right there. Notre Dame just barely able to get the ball off the Seminoles, and expecting a lot of that the rest of this match. Great play so far.
Smart play from Nigo. If you're going to face a double block, try to hit it off the block and tool that block for the kill, which is exactly what she did. Jasmine Martin comes inside, plays more out of that true middle position. She's a right side hitter for the Noles, and she misfires at 7-5, Fighting Irish. Back to serve Charlie Nigo. Chacon jammed up on the serve receive. Caffrey had to wait on the set. Excellent effort by Nunez, keeping that play alive. Caffrey will try again. Dug up beautifully by Madison Cruzado. Chacon digs it into the stands, and Notre Dame, off a couple of great defensive plays, keeps themselves in the point and win it to go up by 3.
Tremendous defense by Notre Dame, and what they want to try to do if they can can sneak this first set in, and that can quiet the crowd and take away some of the momentum here in Tulsa.
Alex Wendling mentioned it the last time these two teams met in Tallahassee. The Fighting Irish won the first 2 sets. Florida State won the last 3. Bent with the kill. Timeout, Florida State, as we take another look. That block is too late getting up there, and she splits the seam. The Notre Dame back here in Tallahassee. Notre Dame on the road with a 9-5 lead here in set number 1 inside Tully Gymnasium. Set to get back underway here in Florida's capital city. A good start for the Fighting Irish. Charlie Nigo back to serve. Caffrey dug up once again by Cruzado, a player that Mike Johnson has mentioned has really come on of late. He's been impressed with her. Caffrey looking through the seam, picking up that sharp angle kill once again.
And so far, Caffrey, she's been the one. She's been the one to get the Noles on the board, and right now Notre Dame is really playing well, and the Seminoles are trying to pick it up.
So speaking of Caffrey, she will head back to serve the deep floater. Bent picks up another kill. Sydney Bent from Miami Shores, Florida. Played outside, now playing as the right side hitter for the Fighting Irish. Making an impact early. Cruzado back to serve, flat serve over the tape. Nice job by Caffrey on the serve receive. Overpass, Clothier tried to put it away. Cruzado will reset. Good dig from Madison Sullivan. Caffrey back row, rolling it, and she rolls it just inside the line. So yet another kill from Peyton Caffrey. And Tony, we're starting to see the entire repertoire here.
Absolutely, and right now the Seminoles need it. And as you mentioned Sydney Bent a while ago, I think what seems to be happening with her is they're not able to quickly read that she's a lefty, and I think that's causing the Seminoles some problems up at the net.
Lefty with a big swing, playing on the right side. Overpass, put down by Chacon. Serving and passing, always so crucial, especially against two teams that have been solid defensively. Florida State with their block, Notre Dame with an excellent back row anchored by Cruzado. So if you can get somebody out of system and put a quick end to a point, it'll really help you. And there's another quick point for the Seminoles. This is a good rotation now as Taylor Roberts heads back to serve once again.
And when we talked to both coaches earlier this week, they said that passing would absolutely be the key because they knew both teams are good defensively. So you've got to make sure you can set the ball up for the front line can put it away.
That ball once again shanked off Bent's hands. And this ball tooled out of play. Carolyn Muth picks up her first kill. Top 60 recruit coming out of high school, a first-team All-American in high school. One of the leaders offensively for the Fighting Irish. Chacon rolling it from the outside. Bent now launching from the back row. What an effort from Taylor Roberts. Muth with the big swing. Once again, Roberts hits the deck. Off-speed effort from Jasmine Martin. Muth will swing again. This time it's Sullivan keeping it alive. Chacon tried to tool the block, kept up by the Fighting Irish. Nigo from the back row. Good pass, Sullivan. Canute had to wait on the set. Best rally yet. Block back to the Fighting Irish, and Florida State cuts the lead to 1.
Obviously the play of a match so far, the point of the match, and we kept talking about what kind of defense we would be seeing. It's on full display right now. Tremendous defense by both sides, and what a tremendous point.
Major tip of the cap to Taylor Roberts, who hit the deck not just once but twice to keep this point alive. And now she'll give way as Adrienne L. checks in to serve. Flat serve there. Cruzado jammed up. Muth with the big swing once again. Taylor Roberts hitting the deck to keep the ball up. Muth had to wait on it, and the block party is firing up for Florida State. That's their second in a row to tie it.
And Newt's one of the best blockers, obviously, in the ACC and the whole country. So if anybody's going to do it, she's going to make it happen for the Seminoles.
Back and forth we go in the first set. Bent from the back row. This time she splits the seam. Knowles had a triple block up there with Stockman, Canute, and Chacon. Did it matter for Sydney Bent? No, not at all. She comes in averaging 3.42 kills per set, a couple digs per set as well, and she can attack from the front row and the back row for the Fighting Irish. Fortuitous kiss off the tape for Chacon. Free ball to the Seminoles. L with the dump. Back to the Noles. Chacon with a big swing. It caught the tape and fell dead in front of that Fighting Irish back line.
You know what's happening now is we're having so much great defense until the Stars really they're going to have to step up tonight if they're going to win this thing, because right now both teams are playing magnificent defense, and it's 12-all right now.
So here's Morgan Chacon off the kill, back to serve. She leads the team in aces, but there is a service error. So Notre Dame takes that 13-12 lead. And to your point, Tony, I'm looking up at the scoreboard, and just on Notre Dame side of things, you see 5 digs, 4 digs, and 4 digs respectively. Nunez and Nigo each have 4. Cruzado had 5. Those are some elevated numbers this early on in the first set.
We may be in for a long night.
Both teams out of system. Notre Dame wins it 14-12 for the Fighting Irish. Great job there by Zoe Nunez, setting up Lauren Wenzel to make something out of nothing. And Florida State cannot scramble to get a tough serve back across the tape. And the Fighting Irish lead it 15-12.
You know, and surprisingly, the Seminoles have had problems with that play all night long so far. It's kind of early, but that's something they really got to correct if they want to pull this off tonight.
And there's Chris Poole in his 12th season at Florida State. Has led this program to some of its highest peaks. As Taryn Canute executes on the slide, it's been a staple in Florida State's offense, regardless of who their middle is, but it's taken on new life with Canute, and she'll check out after that kill.
And I think before this is over with, Canute, who we're watching there on camera, I think she's going to play a huge role tonight. Defensively, we know what she can do, but I think they're going to need her offense tonight as well.
1.60 blocks per set. It leads the ACC, one of the top 5 in the NCAA. Third all-time with a career 1.60 mark as well for Florida State. Muth launching from the back row with the kill. Excellent swing down the line for Carolyn Muth. Second time Notre Dame has had a 3-point lead, and they'll have an opportunity to add to it as they get the free ball from Peyton Caffrey. Bent, caught the tape, kept up by L. The roll shot over the back, and Florida State is having all kinds of issues here in the middle part of this first set. Timeout, Chris Poole.
And I think that left hand is causing a lot of problems for the Noles right now.
Mixing some muscle here as Zoe Nunez heads back to serve with a 4-point lead in her pocket. Caffrey with a big swing.
And I think what has to happen now, Florida State has to get the ball to their big-time players, their offensive players, and they got to turn this thing around because Notre Dame is on a roll. They're very efficient right now, and if they can get this first set, that could go a long way in quieting the crowd.
Speaking of efficient, Peyton Caffrey hitting .545 on her 6 kills midway through the first set alone. Tessier back to serve. Overpass put down by Emma Clothier. The Seminoles trying to go on a run and get Notre Dame out of system. Lily Tessier doing a good job. A couple of newcomers to the Seminoles, similar spellings, different pronunciations. Tessier and Clothier combining there for the point for the Seminoles. And there's Charlie Nigo picking up a timely kill.
Terrific touch there by her, and caught the Seminoles off guard, and wonderful play right here, and advantage Notre Dame.
And that's some heady volleyball from Charlie Nigo, who has 4 kills and 4 digs. You show them some big swings, they get themselves ready for it, and you tip it, and now there's a Notre Dame block, but another excellent effort. Caffrey somehow gets a free ball over, and then the block for Caffrey as well.
And that's what they've been waiting on right there, because Bent has really been causing some problems. And that was a big play there by the Seminoles. Another block. What a play.
A solo block and an exclamation point for Peyton Caffrey, who has kept the Seminoles in this first set. 3 total blocks for Florida State, a couple from Taryn Canute, and that big one there from their senior outside hitter. Bent tools the block, caught the hand of Emma Clothier and skidded through the court. So the Fighting Irish re-extend the lead to 3. And right on cue, another service error.
Well, you can expect all night. You can expect Notre Dame to feed Bent, because she gets up off the floor quite well. And with that left hand, she knows what to do with the ball once it comes to her.
And again, both teams want those quick ends to points. They're going to serve aggressively. They might pick up some aces, but that also brings in the possibility of service errors. Bent lobbying for a touch call. And Mike Johnson might be making his way toward the challenge card. And there you see it. So with the Fighting Irish perhaps having their lead cut to 1, they call a challenge. Sydney Bent looked directly at Mike Johnson and said that ball was touched before it landed out of play. The point awarded originally to Florida State on a ball that was ruled over the back. So our officials will head to the monitor. It'll be above the top level of the net. Could also be illegal contact. So either way, an incredibly close call here. He's going to call some of his more experienced players over to have a word. Zoe Nunez, the sophomore who he called a stud, who he trusts, who he said is the engine that makes that train roll down the track.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to go over and have a word with Young Park, the up referee.
And it's a very important time of the first set as well. You know, we're 5 points from ending this first set, and right now Notre Dame has grabbed the momentum away from Florida State here in Tully, and the Seminoles want to get it back. And points like the last 2 we've seen, they can swing both ways and make a huge difference in the first set.
Looks like it will remain point Florida State. And it will be Adrian L. who goes back to serve. Noles run that 6-2 offense, so both setters play back row. When they would move to the front row, they sub out. So in that case, Tessier would have been a back row attacker, or would-be attacker, if she came up to the net. And now that point that Notre Dame probably feels they deserve doesn't matter. They get it right back thanks to Sydney Bent.
And once again, she's on the attack, and that left hand is quite dangerous. And I tell you, if you play, used to playing against righties and you get a lefty, it can really throw you off, and that's what's happening in this first set.
Flat serve wide from Carolyn Muth. Roberts back there on the serve receive. And the block in place for the Fighting Irish, who now have extended the lead to 4. It's been as large as 3 a couple of times, but this now their largest lead of set number 1.
And their defense has been absolutely on point.
Low pass. Chacon had to wait on the set. Nigo off the Florida State block, and it falls down inside that back line. The lead swells to 5.
And you know what happens is when you have a matchup like you did last year, the way it started and ended, you don't forget that as a visiting team.
What an excellent job Notre Dame has done serving here today. They've had a few service errors, but when you serve aggressively, you're willing to take those opportunities. They've kept Florida State out of system. They've got a handful now of set points. Marissa Stockman out of the middle. She can play middle and the right side. This time they bring her in, leave Canute out to the right, and she erases one of those set points, but the Fighting Irish just a side out away from sealing the deal here in set number 1. Quick swing from Kristen Bear over the back, so the lead cut down to 4. Chris Poole acknowledging, as Alex Wendling mentioned, that they have had a tendency to get off to sluggish starts in each set and, of course, in some of their later matches, and they will have to come from behind here today. Notre Dame picks up the set 1 win, 25-20 here in Tully Gymnasium. The Fighting Irish making a statement in Tallahassee tonight. And that flat serve giving Florida State some problems. Caffrey shanked it into the stands. It's 2-0 Irish. Different player, same result.
Shaky defense right now for the Nose. And just what the doctor ordered for the Irish, they're off and running in the second set, which is exactly what they need.
Back to that same place in the back row. Caffrey got a whole lot of nothing. She has to wait on the set here. Muth keeps it up. Nigo with the kill.
And I think right now Notre Dame thinks they found a weak spot within the game of FSU, and they're going to hammer it until something improves. So keep looking for them to go over there to that left side.
Marissa Stockman coming over to help out Taryn Canute, and Nigo goes right inside into the open court. Once again, a double block that won't go down as an official block for Notre Dame, but it impacted the play there, and now Florida State has to scramble once again. Caffrey down the line, and she'll pick up a kill. She looks back to her team, yells, "Let's go!" And the Seminoles have their first point here in set number 2.
And even though Notre Dame lost that point, they feel good about what they just did because they have some great digs and saves, and that's FSU's first point of the second set.
To your point, Notre Dame making this a very long night for the Seminoles. That block out of play, so Notre Dame gets the point right back.
By putting the lead is taking out the match. Home, the crowd is very involved, and that's not happening right now.
Good pass. Excellent effort by Muth, picking up that Caffrey attack. And Nigo firing over the back. Couldn't do anything with the opportunity. Jasmine Martin checking in. Jeff Holzmeyer saying, "Come on, Jazz, we need you." Firing her up as she comes in. And to his point, that's what Chris Poole was saying. We cannot rely on Peyton Caffrey and Morgan Chacon on the outside alone. We need more offense from Taryn and from Jasmine if we can get the ball to them to Notre Dame's credit, they've been serving tough enough that Florida State really hasn't been able to run their offense the way they would like to. But here's an opportunity for Martin.
And with FSU, they've got enough talent to where somebody else should be able to step up. So you can't just, count on the regular one or two people to get your points for you. It has to be a team effort. But the one thing that Coach Poole says, they're very confident about their bench.
Well, Martin was in the net there, so the lead goes back to 4. Wow! Big swing from Peyton Caffrey. She continues to be the player who has kept Florida State within shouting distance. She cuts the lead to 3.
And I think right now everybody's got to raise their mental level to the level of Caffrey because she's making it happen.
Nigo with the tip from the right side. Saw that Florida State defense and tipped it right over that front line. There's always going to be a spot on the floor, Tony, and she was able to find that soft spot in the Florida State defense.
And they've been exploiting that all night long.
9 kills to go along with 4 digs for Charlie Nigo. Coming off a season-high 22 kills against Boston College, as Chacon had her attack dug up. Muth had hers dug up. Joust at the net. Roberts will reset. Back row attack. Caffrey kept up by Cruzado. Bent tipped it across, and once again, the off-speed from the right side pays off for Notre Dame, their largest lead now in this second set.
And the one thing you can tell with Notre Dame's offense, they have a game plan and they're sticking to it. And right now they're executing.
Roberts had to hit the deck just to get the ball back across on the serve receive. Big swing Bent, kept up by Caffrey. Miscommunication by the Seminoles. Chacon rolls it down the line. Bent again. And I believe another Seminole was in the net. Looks like they'll call Chacon this time. Caffrey coming back, looking at the coaching staff, saying she never touched the net. She never touched the net. You can call it if you can use the challenge if you want to. She's the floor general for the Seminoles. She does a lot of that communicating back to the bench. Chris Poole keeps the challenge in his pocket, and that ball flies across and out of play. So Emma Clothier picks up a kill and will check out.
And right now the Seminoles need a spark because Notre Dame is just marching on down the street and doing their thing. And they're making it happen, and the Noles need a bump right now. Somebody has to step it up.
Sullivan back to serve. Quick swing out of the middle, and another kill for Lauren Wenzel, a player who didn't see any action with the Irish last season. Came out of high school as a top 100 recruit. Has recorded a kill in every match she's played and does so again today. Wow! Jasmine Martin got a whole lot of nothing. Carolyn Muth with a solo block. Excellent penetration over the net. Timed that block beautifully, did Muth. She comes away with another big point for the Fighting Irish, whose lead swells to 7, their largest in either of the first 2 sets, only to be cut back down to 6 with another service error. But to my point, Tony, that is what you can live with. It's been those tough serves that have kept this Florida State offense out of balance, out of system.
Basically, Notre Dame, they're going for it. So, like you say, they don't mind an error like that because they're on the attack. That's a good miss, as they call it. So as long as they're doing that and they're getting the rest of them, they're just fine.
Bent had to wait on the set, and she rolled it into the tape.
You can sit and watch the crowd. They're sitting on their hands waiting to get involved, but right now they have no reason.
Cruzado did a good job there on that initial pass, but a double contact on the set from Zoe Nunez, an uncharacteristic miscue from one of the best setters, not just in the conference, frankly, in the entire country. much better, higher set to Bent. Nice job defensively by Caffrey. Chacon up a kill. So Chacon rotates in as the L2 for the Seminoles. And she, just like Caffrey, heating up, responsible for the vast majority of this FSU offense. Wow, what another big swing from Carolyn Muth. She has been awfully impressive.
Quite powerful player, and once she gets up top, she kills it, as they say. And she is a very good player, and when she knows what to do with the ball.
Muth, again, just a freshman, 4 kills, 4 digs. She actually began this year with 5 appearances with 10 or more kills. How about that way to announce your presence as a freshman at the D1 level? Usually you see some sort of adjustment to playing at the college level where everybody is where you were when you were that standout kid in high school, but she came right out and owned it, and now she has 15 total, 10 or more kill appearances, and already piling them up here today.
And her infectious energy just, seeps throughout the whole team. As we were talking to Coach Johnson, he loves her energy because he's a big-time player.
Another service error makes it a 5-1 scoring run for Florida State. They trailed by as many as 7. It is now down to 3. Muth had it blocked. That double block was set up and ready. Taryn Canute, no surprise there.
Ball was probably a little further away from the net than she wanted at that point in time, and that helped the Nodes out. But another unforced error that they can't afford right now.
Mentioned that Chacon leads the team in service aces. Came into tonight with 18, but that came at a price of 20 service errors. There's another one for Chacon. Lead back to 3 for Notre Dame. And a deep serve there from Carolyn Muth. Right out of the middle, Taryn Canute. There's that offense they want to run. Now that's something that we'll see actually on Sunday. Louisville likes to run a quick offense out of the middle. Florida State likes to utilize their pins a little bit more. They like to move Canute on the slide, but they use her straight out of the middle there. Nigo, one heck of an effort once again by Taylor Roberts. Caffrey with the kill.
And really, when you watch the Seminoles, they need more energy. Right now, they seem to be a little flat right now. Notre Dame is right on point. They're bringing it, and the Seminoles are simply going to have to pick up their energy if they want to win this set and win this match.
Well, Peyton Caffrey with a big swing after a big dig from Taylor Roberts has cut the lead to 1. Crowd starting to come back into it. Overpass, put down, but out of play by Emma Clothier.
Big opportunity right there to tie things up. That's a big point.
A player that Chris Poole says doesn't make too many mistakes. Had her opportunity there to put away an easy point, but wasn't quite able to. We'll see how she and the Seminoles respond, or if this spurs a Notre Dame run. Nice job by Adrienne L getting that ball up, so Caffrey had something to swing at. And there's another block. Guess who came right back and won the next one?
And we're starting to see better defense right now by the Nodes. They're well-known blocking team, and now they're kind of getting back to that. And that's what's going to have to happen if they're going to turn this thing around, because Notre Dame is on the attack, and the front line players from Florida State, they're going to have to make an impact.
5 blocks for the Seminoles, and they have a stable of players who have been getting the job done defensively in that department all season long as Tessier heads back to serve. Well, look who's come all the way back and tied it.
And this is where a match can change momentum. So let's see what happens these next few points. This is a big situation right now for Florida State.
Nigo through the seam. What an answer from, once again, another fantastic sophomore. And that'll lead us to our media timeout. Notre Dame hanging on to a 5th up to Tessier. Clothier with the off-speed tip out of the middle. Nigo dug up by Roberts. And there's double contact on the set from Tessier. can be really challenging for a setter when that ball is towering off the pass, comes down directly on top of you, to not hit that ball twice or for your hands to stick trying to get that ball up. Sydney Bent looking for maybe a touch call. She does not get it. Florida State wins the point. Mike Johnson once again not pleased. Tessier came in, hand above the top of the net to keep that ball out of the net. Again, back row players elevating above the level of the net is going to catch a head coach's attention every single time. He's not too pleased that the lead is cut. Once again, back to 1. Nigo now from the right side. Martin had to wait on the set, still looking for her first kill. Cruzado digs it up, and that ball is tooled out of play. Notre Dame has extended the lead to 2.
And Florida State had the advantage right there on the block. You should have been able to come away with that point. So that's a big point to lose right now.
Half the crowd thought it was going to be point Florida State. Deep serve from Nigo. Decent pass from Roberts. Big block from Moot. Caffrey back row. This time just inside the block. Timing is so important when you go up to block a ball. Lauren Wenzel in there as well, and you'll watch here, Tony, this ball's going to come right inside her hand. Just got up a split second too late.
Yeah, just a little late there.
10 kills, a .476 hitting percentage for Peyton Caffrey. Bent just tipped it right between Taryn Canute's hands. She looks back at her team and chuckles it off. But Notre Dame re-extends the lead to 2. Chacon caught the top of the tape, and here's a Notre Dame run that Florida State can ill afford, and Chris Poole will call his first timeout.
Well, the goal right now is to regroup.
Martin.
And right now, the front line for Florida State has to come alive, because Notre Dame's defense has been rock solid from the first point of this match, and that's not going anywhere. So the stars, as we talked about, the stars for Florida State, the front line, they're going to have to make it happen.
Adrienne L back to serve, lead down to 2. Good serve from L and double contact on that set.
Big moment right here.
This is the player Florida State arguably wants back behind the service stripe. Adrienne L, also one of the ace leaders, has been an incredibly effective server. Just 4 service errors to go along with 17 aces, but the Fighting Irish put an end to that rotation quickly. Crunch time here inside what would be the final 5 points for the Fighting Irish, but Taryn Canute straight out of the middle takes a big swing and cuts the lead to 1.
And Tamika Canute is going to have to be the X factor. She's been on that front line tonight. She's executed, so they're going to have to make sure she stays up there and is very effective, because she's playing ball when she gets the opportunity.
Out of system, Notre Dame, free ball opportunity to Florida State. It's going to be Caffrey from the outside, found that back corner. We are tied.
Great rotation there by the noses we're looking at right here. Caffrey put the ball away. It's 20-all right now, and it's crunch time.
Timeout, Mike Johnson and the Fighting Irish. So the Seminoles, who have trailed by as many as 7 in this set, have somehow... Caffrey looked back at Chris Poole and said, I think it was out. And Chris Poole is going to use his challenge to see whether or not that ball caught the sideline or not. This is the first challenge for Chris Poole in the Seminoles. Notre Dame used one on a touch call in the net, or what wasn't called as a touch in the net. They did get it overturned. And worth noting, too, Tony, not only does every challenge carry the possibility of a 2-point swing. You only get 3 regardless of if you're successful. So you lose it if you use it. And was that the right call to use it on that play there?
It looks like to me it may have barely caught the line there on the sideline, so it's pretty tight. Wow, that's tight.
Certainly worth a look. You're talking a matter of inches, maybe even centimeters. Where is the bottom of that ball? We'll take another look at a different angle, straight down the court here. And this is more what Peyton Caffrey is looking at when she's looking back.
Wow.
And that one looks like it might have missed. So
yeah,
it looks,
that angle there looks like it might have missed.
6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Yeah, because in that particular play, the official is actually behind the ball instead of being even with the line. So
picks up the kill. So Notre Dame back out in front, 22-21. They turn to Charlie Nigo, who, like Peyton Caffrey, also had 11 kills. Timeout, Chris Poole.
And it's quite tight right now, and these last 4 points are going to come down to, well, 3 points for Notre Dame. They'll come down to execution.
So it is crunch time, not just in this match, but also in the volleyball season. We remind you that we are on the road to the NCAA Volleyball Championship, and our programming includes the selection show December 1st on ESPNU. The first and second rounds will come on December 5th through December 7th. The regional action will be brought to you by ESPNU from December 13th to the 14th. The semifinals will be on ESPN on December 19th, and one champion will be crowned. Tough serve by Notre Dame extends their lead to 2. We want to update you that Pittsburgh is up 1-0 on Georgia Tech. That match up in Pennsylvania. Canute on the slide, picks up the kill.
You know, I think every time Canute has had the opportunity to make something happen on the front line, she's been money. So it's definitely somebody to me that they've got to get more involved because of the simple fact that she's executing. And they need her right now.
4 kills, hitting .571. This is a good rotation for the Seminoles in set number 1. Nigo had it dug up by Chacon. Nigo again has it kept in play by L. Chacon with the roll shot from the back row. Opportunity here for the Fighting Irish. Quick call here, it looks like, against Peyton Caffrey. And that'll bring up set points for the Fighting Irish. Caffrey found the backcourt. Yesterday we had the chance to talk to Lily Tessier for the first time. She took a red shirt last year when the Seminoles had a senior setter in Brianne Burkert. They ran in 6-2 with her and Adrienne L. And I asked Lily what that meant to her, being able to sit in red shirt and learn. And she said, I was training, I was preparing for this, and I was ready when my name was called here this season. She's become the primary setter for the Seminoles. Adrienne L. does a fantastic job in the secondary role, but a big moment for the redshirt freshman behind the stripe to get this thing back underway. Set point, Notre Dame having won the first set as well. Notre Dame out of system, and Tessier and the Seminoles deliver to erase 2 set points.
Great play there by the nose, great defense. Got a little lucky, but we'll take it right now.
Two Fighting Irish players tried to receive the same serve. It does not matter because guess who? Charlie Nigo rockets another ball across the net to bring up a third set point. We will go beyond 25 here.
The challenge has to be this one because that was set point. So you definitely want to see if you can get that point back, and if not, you're down 2-0.
So we'll take a look here at some of our different angles. It was Jasmine Martin on the swing. You're going to be looking at the hands of Carolyn Muth. Did it go through the seam, or did it catch Carolyn Muth and or Lauren Wenzel? A quick decision here from Michelle Prater. And the Fighting Irish win set number 2. They're up 2-0 here in Tallahassee for the second consecutive road trip. So Notre Dame wins set 1 25-20. They win set 2 27-25. The Fighting Irish getting it done in total. As well, just haven't quite seen the opportunities for those players to really get involved. Notre Dame's done a good job of serving tough and keeping them off balance. Speaking of serving tough, Notre Dame out of system. Peyton Caffrey with the kill, and that's the first time Florida State has gotten off to a hot start in a set.
And listening to Coach Poole, I totally agree. It's going to be about the others. I've mentioned this several times in the first 2 sets that the other players are going to have to step up because they're looking for McCaffrey. So the other players are going to have to make it happen.
Good pass and a quick response from Nigo.
And once again, Notre Dame, they're answering the bell every time FSU rings it.
So back to serve goes Paige McKnight. Played 3 seasons at Georgetown and transferred to the Notre Dame program. There's a service error, and the Seminoles retake the early lead.
And the key right now is that FSU has to get off to a quick start. They cannot fall behind in this 3rd set. They've done that the first 2, and so far, not good at all.
And to your point, when you benefit from a donation like a service error, you hate to give it right back 1 point, 1 play later. That's exactly what happens. Taylor Roberts, again, that's the miss you can live with. But again, if you're Florida State, you can't really live with any mistakes here in a must-win 3rd set.
Not right now.
But then again, as we've seen time and time again, those service errors can kind of be contagious, and that's 3 in a row.
Absolutely. But right now, FSU they need a run. They need to put about 4 or 5 points together to get out front to reestablish their confidence. Because right now, it's just not there. You can see it on the faces of the players.
They have Jasmine Martin, Peyton Caffrey, and Emma Clothier in the front row. Caffrey a little late going up for the block, and Nigo picks up 1 more kill. $16 kills now to go along with 5 digs. Overpass, put down by Muth.
And we've seen a couple of unforced errors early in this 3rd set. FSU simply can't have that because they're already in the hole, and Notre Dame is accepting all gifts at this time.
Off the Notre Dame block, they'll have an opportunity. Here's Bent. Nice job from Chacon. But the double block once again comes up huge. This time it is Muth and Lauren Wenzel.
And that's been a big theme the whole match so far. Defense, defense, and more defense by Notre Dame.
Thing do out of that slot, and Emma uses tip ball over block. Off. Float serve once again. Notre Dame out of system. Opportunity for the Seminoles. Caffrey back row attack, and it goes over everybody. Attack errors for both teams so far tonight. Madison Cruzado. And a 3 ball back to the Fighting Irish. Bear with the big swing out of the middle. Good pass from Taylor Roberts. The tip from the right side by Jasmine Martin. Here's Bent. And she cools the block for another kill.
And she's picking up right where she left off the first set. And when it comes to Bent,
so
she knows how to finish.
So Sydney Bent lighting it up offensively here in set number 2 as well. The lead up to 3. And there's another one of those tough, sharp dropping serves. Cruzado picks up another ace. That is the 6th tonight for Notre Dame. Timeout, Chris Poole.
It's an ace, but right now the Seminoles, they're making too many unforced errors. And they've got to change it or this is going to be over.
Notre Dame trying to sweep the Florida State Seminoles on their own court. They lead by 4, up a couple of sets as well. The Fighting Irish have done everything they've wanted to do here tonight. They've made life incredibly difficult for the Seminoles here tonight. Madison Cruzado back to serve. Bent in there for the block. She's been doing it all offensively, defensively, making an impact. The lead is up to 5. And oh, by the way, there's a tie with this Florida State program. Sydney Bent is the niece of Odell Hagens, who, oh, by the way, is the interim head coach of the Florida State football team. And for what it's worth, as Florida State cuts into that Notre Dame lead, I will remind you that Odell Hagens is, as the folks around here like to say, 2-0. He's got the highest winning percentage of any head coach in Florida State football history.
Absolutely, and he's a great guy. I've known him for a million years, and what a guy, quality guy, and obviously with a quality niece.
And here she goes to work, but this time Taryn Canute was ready for her. Everything ran to the right side for Notre Dame. It became predictable for an experienced blocker like Taryn Canute to snip it out. They've cut the lead to 3. 3 kills, 4 blocks for Canute. And the serve caught the sideline. The lead now 2. Lauren Burrows checks in for the first time today. She picks up a quick ace.
And obviously what the Noles are trying to do, they're looking for a spark.
Bent with the pass, and then got stuffed. So Florida State serving tough, keeping Notre Dame off balance, putting quick ends to points, cleaning things up with their block. Here we go again. This time off the Seminole block, and Bent is able to put an end to this rotation. Seminoles had it snipped out. She caught the top of their hands. And that's a timely answer for the Fighting Irish, who have been doing that all night long. Good pass. Better swing.
Absolutely. Better rhythm there on the setup and in the dig. Great play by the Seminoles. They're down by 1 right now, but they've got to make it happen because it's getting late early.
I like that. Getting late early. And here's Adrienne L. 1-point deficit, must-win set for the Seminoles. Marilyn Muth. Now Chacon off the block, kept up by Cruzado. Nigo caught nothing but that Seminole block. Here's Bent launching from the back row and picking up a kill. Knowles once again got that double block up, but Bent so good, front row, back row, sniffing out that block and tooling it for her 12th kill tonight.
And she's been money for the Irish the whole match, and it seems like when they need a point, she's the one who can get it for them.
28 kills between her and Charlie Nigo. Low set, Canute on the slide, Cruzado, great pursuit. And here's Nigo off the block of Jessica Nunji, who checks in for the first time. Block back to Chacon. And it'll be Nunji swinging away from the right side. Muth off the Florida State block. Burrows with the set, out of play. Nunji goes sharp angle, but there was a whole lot of nothing there for her, who, oh, by the way, a lot of the folks in the control room have been waiting for me to drop an oh, by the way. Jessica Nunji's older sister, Rebecca, played for Notre Dame, graduated last year, played all across the front row for the Fighting Irish, was a staple in their offense. So now little sis gets to get a taste of this matchup in the ACC. Nobody was ready there off the pass. And just like that, Notre Dame extends the lead to 4.
And it's been those kind of errors tonight, those unforced errors, as I would call it, that's really been the big difference. Notre Dame has made very few, and some of those have made way too many.
L on the run for the set. Nigo launching from the back row, and it just missed the back line. So Florida State, who left that back corner open, gets a get-out-of-jail-free card there.
Oh, yeah.
Good pass. Great swing.
Great setup. Great setup there.
So the lead up to 4 as we near another media timeout. It'll once again be Paige McKnight back to serve for the Fighting Irish. Seminoles out of system once again. Free ball to the Fighting Irish. Nigo with the shove, out of play, so Florida State cuts into the lead a little bit. Kristen Bear will check in. Paige McKnight checking out. Kristen Bear also now checking back out as they instead decide to bring in Kiara Schmidt. Schmidt with the pass. Seminoles trying to guide that ball back into play. And the block for the Fighting Irish gets us to this media timeout. Up 15-11 here in set number 3. Looks like we might not be taking that timeout after all. Nunji tried to rocket one through the seam. Bent off of Caffrey's hand. Nice job by the Seminole back line. Caffrey misdirects off the tip. Nigo from the outside. Caffrey picks up the kill down the line.
Smart play there. Instead of trying to hit the ball into the block, she simply went over the head and down the line where nobody was home. Very smart play by Caffrey, because Notre Dame were set up to make the block. And smart play there by McCaffrey.
Things getting interesting here. Florida State trying to cut into that lead. And Lauren Wenzel says no thank you. She'll have none of that, and she extends the lead back to 4. Clothier on the slide. Caffrey once again looking down the line. Muth also from the outside. Pins having their way as Chacon rolls it across from the outside. Off-speed tip. What an effort just to get that ball back. Blocked to the back row. Played up by Nigo. Here is Bent tipping it up. Caffrey keeps it alive. Now she'll take a swing. Nigo now playing great defense. Chacon with the pass. Tezier with the set. And it looked like Martin brought that ball in from outside the antenna. That'll be a point for Notre Dame. So an unfortunate way to finish off what was one heck of a point. That pass out too wide for Martin to be able to do much with it.
Awesome point there by both teams. Notre Dame with the point at the end there. Great defense by both sides.
Good pursuit by Chacon, but an opportunity once again for the Fighting Irish. And the Seminoles were in the net. Jasmine Martin this time called for it. So the Fighting Irish are closing in on what could be a sweep on the road. Chacon had to wait on it. She rolls it from the back row. Muth from the outside picks up another kill.
What you really have to like is Notre Dame's execution. They have a plan. They stuck to their strategy.
Georgia Tech does fall. The winner tonight becomes second alone. Pittsburgh still sitting comfortably out in front, but if Georgia Tech wins that one, it tightens up at the top as well. So the ACC, very interesting at the top, and it's getting really interesting here with Notre Dame trying to sweep the Seminoles on their own floor. And that block helps the cause. Lauren Wenzel with the solo block, and that makes the run a 5-0 scoring run. It has been all Irish all night.
It's been all about the defense.
Martin with a big swing out of the middle. The Fighting Irish closing in. Here is Bent with the kill.
She puts it away when it comes to Bent. And that swinging left hand of hers, she knows what to do with it, and she kills it.
Chris Poole and the Seminoles all out of timeouts. But they get a fortuitous break off the service error. But you mentioned it, Tony, they needed a run early. They just need a run now, period, because as you said earlier, it's getting late early.
Absolutely.
Another quick point out of the middle. This time it's Lauren Wenzel.
And right now, Notre Dame is trying to close it out. You can tell they have memories from last year, and they're trying not to make the same mistake again.
Excellent work from Cruzado in the back row, who's dug up a lot of balls that against a bunch of other teams would be kills for Florida State. Liberos, it's my opinion, don't get enough love for the work they do. It's not as flashy as some of the big swings you see on offense, but she has kept a lot of players quiet who typically aren't. Nigo with a big dig as well. But that's what's made life so difficult for this Florida State offense. Excellent efforts on the defensive end, good swings offensively. Muth had a double block in front of her, couldn't navigate around it or over it, so Florida State cuts into the lead ever so slightly.
But even if you're Notre Dame on that particular play, you lost a heck of a point. So that's a good loss. You don't mind that because they're making FSU earn every point they get.
Bent gets the free ball over to the Seminoles. They need a good pass and a swing here. And Jasmine Martin saw the double block and sent it straight into the net. I asked Mike Johnson, what is it going to take for your team to come out with a win? What needs to go well? He's a very simple man in terms of, I don't obsess over what other teams do. All I care about is that in all facets we play well. So period, we just need to play well. They have done that and more tonight. Muth with another big swing dug up by Roberts. Here's Chacon from the back row, kept up by Nigo. Bent receives an overpass. It'll be Muth again. Taylor Roberts has done everything she can in the back row to keep up with that Notre Dame defense, and this time Florida State does pick up the point.
Great point once again by both teams. Very long point, and the Seminoles come out on top on that one, but they've got to get it going. We're coming to the end here.
Bent had a double block, and she was launching from the back row. She sends it into the top of the tape, and that'll bring up a timeout for Mike Johnson, who wants to settle things down here.
Absolutely.
With that lead starting to dwindle. Still a big lead for the Fighting Irish, but you have to imagine if it disappears, so too does all the momentum in this match. So while these teams head to their respective huddles, we will remind you that the huddle... Chacon rockets a ball through the seam. Quick discussion amongst the Notre Dame coaches. They decided to let that point go. They decided that ball was in. So on we go. As that ball floats wide. So a whole bunch of match points for the Fighting Irish, who have come in and executed at a high level all night long. Caroline Muth with 4 service aces tonight. This deep serve has kept Florida State off balance, but this time she goes too deep, and the Seminoles see some extra life. They don't have to see her serve for a while, and if they do, that means they've gone on that run that they've been needing. It'll be Chacon to the back row. Good pass. Migo tips it over the block. L hits the deck. Caffrey waits on the set. It'll be Migo taking a big swing through the seam. Kept up by Chacon. She'll launch from the back row and roll it over the block. Muth from the back row missed everything and everybody. Nearly sent it into the Florida State bench. And the lead is down to 5.
But Coach Johnson doesn't mind that miss because it was an aggressive, attacking point and shot. You don't mind that.
Bear puts it away, and Notre Dame comes on the road and sweeps the Seminoles on their own floor. We've seen some impressive performances all season long by both the home team and road teams. This is as impressive a performance as you're going to see from anybody.